how's it going? Today I'm going to be testing some new high-end makeup on the market. I've done a lot of new makeup testing videos lately because I am just trying to try all of the things before I give birth. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that you guys have requested for me. For example, I'm a month late, but I'm excited to finally try the two newest Viseart palettes today. I also have the new Kosas Shiny Objects Highlighters. We have some new eyeliners actually from both Fenty and Urban Decay. The Urban Decay is really intriguing me, as well as their new tubing mascara. We have some new Bobbi Brown stuff as well. So all of this is new high-end makeup that I wanted to try on before who knows how long it will take me before I continue trying new stuff after the baby comes. So that just scared me. Anyways, my skin, you guys. I've been getting a little too confident with my skin. I had a routine that worked for me really, really well. It was very small, and then I've gotten confident and started adding more, and gotta go back to the basics. But anyways, we're gonna begin this video by using something new. But this is from Fenty Skin, and normally these style of products don't irritate my skin, and I just need this little refresher product before I get the rest of my makeup on. So this is the Dew and Plump Hydrating Nectar Face Mist. Now this is interesting. I see online on the Fenty Beauty website that this is early access and limited edition. You're only gonna know about it if you know about it, so I'm telling you now about it. It's $34, soft as a cloud, but hard on hydration face mist with mega plumpers like polyglutamic and hyaluronic acids, moisture barrier boosting, and something and glycerin, whatever. Anyways, this can be used for makeup prep and for skincare. It differs from their makeup setting spray, which is meant to make makeup last longer. This one is not. This can be for skincare or prior to makeup. It is late afternoon right now, so my skincare has been on my skin for a few hours. So that's when I love to apply a hydrating spray like this prior to my makeup. I wonder if this is gonna smell like nectar. I really like Fenty Skin products. It does have a very subtle fruity scent, but it is subtle. I know some people are anti-fragrance on the skincare. Obviously, I get why, but I like a little fragrance. I like the way that this smells. It's not strong whatsoever, but there is a fragrance. I'm gonna let this soak into the skin, and we will see. This is something that does take some time to test, so make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel, because eventually, I'm not sure when the next speed reviews is gonna be, but eventually this will be featured in a speed reviews after I've tested these products a lot more. I think for complexion today, I'm testing these. These are currently in my speed reviews drawer. I've already done videos on these. The MAC Studio Fix Fluid I'm gonna throw on, and then I'm testing for the second time today the About Face Illusionist Skin Focus Concealer. So for this new Fenty spray, it's very, very hydrating. I think it was perfect in the way that I used it, where my skincare had been on for a few hours before I applied this, because this really brought back a lot of hydration. It sat on the skin slightly sticky, but not in a bad way, and was actively hydrating the skin. So far so good on this. Just threw on the foundation. Let's start off with eyes, I decided. So I'm expecting some fallout. I don't have any concealer on, but last month, Viseart launched two new Eat and Do palettes. So while I'm not doing a full review today, I did, of course, want to take a look, because one of these I think is gorgeous. Now I know, you know, I love the Violette line. This is the third Violette color story, Violette Nocturne. And by the way, these are $44 each, and they were a limited launch, but you're still able to get these. These are my favorite size of Viseart palettes. I would say if you want a substantial enough amount of product without completely breaking the bank, $44 is quite good for Viseart. So with this being in the Violette color family, This obviously is leaning purple. I would say it's a little bit more smoky and grungy compared to the original Violette from them. In general, both of these palettes, they're Nocturne palettes. So they're supposed to be a little bit deeper, more smoky, but you know what? My heart, my eyes are going straight to Cyrenisse Nocturne. I think this one is going to be the more popular one. This one has those gorgeous olivey green earthy tones. I'm excited about this one. So, whew, this is the one I'm most excited about, but of course we're going to be trying both. I'm going to have two different eyes on today, and it just is what it is. So we'll start off with the Violette. Now this one, I'm going to show you the swatches right now. Swatched drier than I like. So sometimes I think when Viseart puts out a palette, they have a little bit more creaminess to them, particularly the shimmers, and sometimes they just don't. And this one, swatch-wise, didn't impress me. Normally they do apply better, but sometimes Viseart just has a formula that swatches and applies great. That's not how I feel about this one, so I'm a little like, I'm a little scared, but we'll see. I know it's gonna turn out beautiful regardless. We're gonna do more on the simple side of looks today, I think, because you know I'm very familiar with the Viseart formula, so this isn't like a first impressions with them. Just a little preview here of their palette. So I'm brightening under the brow and in the inner corner with this shade, kind of laying down. Nice base, really nice. You do get some kickback. Knowing that from Viseart, that is why my under eyes are bare right now. Let's see what this one does. Now I think, yeah, this one also lightens the area. I'm gonna use this shade right here. You can see we are getting kickback. Now I think at this point, if you've been a follower slash fan of Viseart for a while now, you know a lot of their palettes aren't anything unique anymore. If you are a collector or have a substantial amount of Viseart palettes, I'm sure you can find these shades in other palettes that they already have. They're not reinventing the wheel with their color stories, but one thing I will promise you, if you like the color story, you will love the palette. They have state-of-the-art quality eyeshadows made for an artist in mind. That's a beautiful background shade. I'm blushing messy. Okay, let's go with the shade below. I'm not even gonna try my French today. Nothing to pardon here because not even gonna take a whack at it today. This is going on beautifully. Just make sure you tap off that brush as necessary if you want the most amount of control and like to slowly build it up. But look at the shadow that it's creating. Working out really beautifully. Today I'm gonna try and keep my eyelids light because I wanna mess around with the eyeliners, but I'm really trying to see how these shades build up. Then lastly, let's get a little bit of smoke out here with this nice eggplant shade in the corner. Hopefully this one blends well also. As you can see, I'm really trying to create a lot of depth in the crease since I am planning to go light on the lid today. And this palette really did concern me where shimmers were as they felt dry. So we're gonna mess with those today. Okay, thumbs up on the matte so far. We're gonna do this beautiful duochrome shade that swatches kind of dry. Look at that shift. That I'm just gonna put all over. Now you can absolutely amp this up no matter what. If you have a stickier base or if you wet your brush, so you can make it work. But with Viseart quality, I like to test it bare minimum to make sure that it's a good quality at base and it's not the tips and tricks that you have to work with, because with such a high quality respected brand, you shouldn't have to make it work. And even though it felt dry, it applied stunning. You could get more if you wet your brush, but I don't feel like I need to. I think that is gorge. And I'm gonna go in with the shade, we'll do this matte shade right here first. And I'm gonna just see how this lays on the lid. Really nice, because sometimes this can be kind of chalky, but that's a gorgeous brightening lilac shade. Ooh, I love this. Okay, and then I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna go in this shade. What did I plan on doing with this? Oh, I was gonna layer it on top. It's not applying very good with a brush, you guys. And this is kind of what I suspected based on the swatch, too dry. Needs a finger, so that is something to note. That is a ding in my book though, because it should be able to be applied however you want it to be applied. But I know a lot of you aren't going to be bothered by that. Really pretty though. I think I'm going to go back in with this eggplant shade and just redefine out here. Gorgeous. And then quickly with lower lash line, I really like this matte lilac shade, lavender shade. So I'm just popping this here, not dipping into any new shades, just kind of using the mattes I already utilized, starting from lightest, finishing with the deepest. And that's the look I'm gonna do for Violette Nocturne. Very, very pretty. I love it. All right, Cyranouse Nocturne. Oh, I don't know why. This one is just, it's hitting me good. And you know we have to play with the olive tones. You know it. So predictable. I'm gonna start off with this very light tan shade. And what do you know? The perfect shadow shade to start us off. Then we'll deepen up just a little bit with the brown above it, not straying too far from the placement we used for the other eye. It's just the best way to test shadows. Okay, let's see. We're going into this olive shade. I'm hopeful. Sometimes shades like this can be patchy and stick to the lid. This one is a little stiffer. Oh, did I even show you the swatches of this one? Here are the swatches of this gorgeous earthy Cyranouse Nocturne. Now, remember how I said the Violette was a little drier? This has more creaminess to it. So this is swatching closer to what I prefer from Viseart typically. Still a little drier than I'm thinking of my favorite launch that they did this year, or I guess last year, where they were so creamy. I don't know why these aren't as creamy as those. That's the standard for me. That's what I'm looking for. These two didn't hit that feeling wise, but you can see I'm having really good application for the most part. So it's still very, very high quality, but I'm missing that rush that those palettes gave me last year. So this one, it is requiring, I would say, a little bit more elbow grease to blend. But that's just how shades of this color are. I'm still very much able to make it work. I'm going to put a little bit here in the outer corner, just because I do want this green to come through a little bit more in the look and peek through instead of hiding just in the crease. And then of course, we're gonna be very predictable. We're gonna use both of the olivey shades. Ooh, that's good. So while this didn't feel the creaminess, I am getting a nice application from this mid-tone murky green. Beautiful. And then we'll go in with the lighter one. Now this one is super creamy and it is going to apply beautiful with a brush or a finger. Viseart, if you're watching this, we need all the shimmers this creamy and beautiful. Had to play with the greens, and I know so many of you were begging me to. Then you can even use maybe this shade right here, this sandy shade, depending on your skin tone, to brighten if you like to do that. And then a little bit of this beautiful champagne tone. to give us a little highlight in the inner corner. And then for lower lash, I'm in the mood to take the olive matte and just run this along the whole lower lash line. Then I'm taking a little bit of this espresso color and just keeping this super tight to the lash line. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do for both of these eyeshadow palettes. I mean, I love the eyeshadow looks that I created with both of these palettes. I am more partial to the Ceranusse Color Story. I'm loving these earthy tones. And this is not my favorite purpley palette that Viseart has launched. I think they have prettier ones in the line, if I'm being honest. But this one is a pretty toned down purple palette. This is not the best of Viseart that I've experienced. If you know, you know. If you've experienced the creamiest, the best quality from them. However, definitely not a dud launch. It's pretty solid for them, very easy to use mattes, and really, really gorgeous looks. So they definitely didn't go wrong here. I think if either of these color stories call to you, they're definitely worth it. I also think, you know, if you have a handful of Viseart palettes, you can get away with skipping on these color stories, but just a beautifully curated little set of palettes that you can easily get some gorgeous, gorgeous looks with. I always end up doing, I feel like, a green and a purple eye. We'll finish up the eyes here. I have two new eyeliner formulations. We have the Fenty Fine Lines Lash Line Enhancing Eyeliner and the Urban Decay 24/7 Liquid Stick Retractable Liner. Now, the Fenty is supposed to be completely waterproof for the waterline, and then the Urban Decay one is really interesting. They say it is a liner that glides like a pencil but lines like a liquid. It's supposed to give a liquid pigment but be able to glide on like a regular liner. So it's kind of a hybrid, the in-between of their 24/7 glide on regular pencils and their liquid liners. So we love a good waterline pencil too. We'll start off with the Urban Decay because they have two colors perfect for each eye. I don't want to try all of them or swatch all of them in case I hate them. So that way I don't have to keep them and I can give other people a chance to try them. But on the purple side, we'll use Fluid Fig, and then on the green eye, we'll use Dirty Martini on the upper lash line. Immediately when I unboxed these, I was excited about these. I love the shape of these. I don't know if you'll remember this, but Shiseido used to have an eyebrow pencil that was like naginata, the shape of a sword. That is what this is, but I don't know about having to sharpen it. But anyways, these are $26 each, and there are 9 shades in the range. I can't wait. I need to see what this Fluid Fig is like. I mean, it does just feel like a creamy pencil. We'll see how this dries down, but I'm going to apply this. Maybe a little sticky. It's not going on as smooth as I had hoped. Oh, it's not bad though. Okay. It is quite dark. You do get some payoff, and as you layer it, it does get darker. So I think that's what they mean by the liquid aspect of it. And then I was excited about this smudgy brush. I don't have 18-year-old eyelids anymore. Gotta smudge everything to make it look smoother. Okay, there is some smudging time. We'll do a little wing. I mean, I don't notice anything groundbreaking about this formula, but Urban Decay is known for their pencil liners, their long-lasting liners, love their 24/7 glide on regular pencils, and this is getting the job done, but it is a little sticky. This is fun. Let's do Dirty Martini on this eye. So I'm using my ring finger to create some stability, to not tug the eyelid too much. I wish this smudger was just a little bit more tight, but it's fine. I do like the shape of this, but we'll have to see as I continue to use it how it holds up. precision-wise. Yeah, it does get really, really dark with pigment, but you do have to build it up. But you do have some time to smudge it out as necessary. Okay, so shades from left to right, we have Fluid Fig, Dirty Martini, Rough Waves, Solar Flake, Denim Wash, Melted Onyx, Brown Nose, and Ruby Drip. Let's see, does it set? Ooh, it really does. So you do have to work fast with this. Look at that, even the green. Oh, okay. Yeah, work fast with these guys, for sure. Eyeliners are definitely something that I need to keep you updated on as I continue to use them. They're drying a little bit on the quick side, but we'll see. So far, so good. And you can see I got the line really, really dark, which is the intention with these liners. Now, the Fenty intentionally has more neutral shades meant for lash line enhancing, for tight lining, defining, and waterline brightening. So there's a brightener shade to go into the waterline for every skin tone. And then you have really great neutral colors. This is not the first time Fenty's launched a liner before. They had one before that I remember dried out and I got rid of them, but these are $26 each. Daily Gel Eyeliner Pencil that is waterproof, lash line boosting, eye enhancing. So these are all meant to enhance eye color as well. So this one has a pointed sponge tip at the bottom, and then this is the shape of the eyeliner. From left to right, we have Vanilla Killa, Naked Beach, Wet T-Shirt, Winko Pink, Riri, Cashew, In Big Truffle, 'Cause I'm Black, The Navy, and Don't Claim Me. I think for fun on this eye, we will do Winko Pink or Winka Pink. So let's see how these are. We'll see if they set down. Now these are meant for tight lining, so I did go back and forth just a little bit to build up the pigment, but it looks good. Hopefully it stays. And then on this other eye, I want to try one of the deeper shades. I think I'll just do brown. I think that's the safest bet for this look. And this is In Big Truffle. I'm also gonna tight line with this. This feels just as creamy to apply as Urban Decay. I'm gonna take my smudger, smudge that. Okay, do these set down? These do set down, but the Urban Decay had a set down that you can't even feel the product. For the Fenty, it's almost a little sticky, but pretty budge proof as well. But the Urban Decay really, really set down, and neither are peeling or anything. So far, so good. Okay, next up for the face, we're going back to complexion. I put on a little bit of the new Huda Beauty press setting powder on my under eyes, but I do have creams that we're going to apply, starting off with the newest launch from Bobbi Brown. These are their skin enhancer. They say blush sticks, but on the Bobbi Brown website, these are supposed to be multi-purpose sticks. You can use them for bronzer, blush, or highlight on the face, cheeks, or lips. It's supposed to be very hydrating and glowy. Think summer. This is giving me summer vibes here. And they said online the shade Beach might be able to work as a bronzer. No, definitely won't. Totally not. So in place of that, I'm just gonna use the new Dior Forever Skin Bronze today. It's a little warm for today, but I already have two different colored eye looks on, so never mind on that. I'm gonna use this one from Dior. I've already done a video on this. I do really like it if you like a warm bronzer. Good enough, just to get some color on. Back to it, these Bobbi Brown Skin Enhancer Blush Sticks are $35 each. The packaging I feel like is very, very young for Bobbi Brown. I'm just gonna do a couple different shades. I think we will try Beach on the green side. So this is Beach. I'm not gonna swatch every single one that I have because if I don't love the formula, I don't want to touch all of them. But you can see this has a very glowy wet finish. Does not have a powder dry down. This one I think is pretty to pair with skin tints and if you like light natural makeup. More on a bare skin kind of look. So for me, for filming days, this is not a product I would reach for a lot probably because I tend to wear more full coverage. But on the daily, when I throw on my little tinted moisturizer, like this would be pretty on the cheeks. It does have that glow, but it has soaked in nicely to the MAC foundation, the Studio Fix, which does have a soft matte finish. And it doesn't look ill-fitting, so it's really made itself at home with that foundation and blended in beautifully. At this point, how different is this from any of the blushes that are already out? The Million Cream Blushes? Not so much, but it's pretty. It looks hydrating on my skin. It didn't mess up anything underneath. And it does have a glow, but it's not too glowy. I was worried when I saw the sheen here. I thought it could potentially disagree with my foundation, but I think it's meshed in really nice. That was a nice application. Hold on, let's try one more color. We'll do Cheeky Pink. Oh, that was very cheeky. Look at this color. Crushed Fuchsia. I don't think this one's for me. This one will definitely be gifting. Okay, we'll just use Cheeky Pink. Different brush. I know Bobbi Brown isn't the most viral brand on my channel, not the most requested or questioned about brand, but this is a nice blush stick. There's too many on the market to say that this stands out or is worth it, but from a review standpoint, this is applying beautifully. It had what looked like more of a balmy texture, that style of product, which I don't really like unless I'm wearing minimal makeup. But this is sitting beautifully on the skin. I think these are very well done from what I can tell so far. So I'm actually happy with these. They do also have some highlighters, like this is Golden Dew. That one won't work for me, but here would be Morning Dew. I'm not gonna use it today because I have another highlighter I'm excited to try, but this looks like it's sheer. It's gonna be super duper natural. I normally skip out on products like this. I just feel like it's an extra layer of grease on my skin if it's not gonna add anything. So I don't think the highlight shade is for me, but these blushes are nice. They don't dry down at all. So if you have a dry cheek, these will keep the skin hydrated. Okay, I like those, I do. I'm so dumb, you guys. Why? I just realized I put on a different mascara. I meant to try the Urban Decay Tube Job Tubing Mascara, but I can't go back now. I guess this will go back into my true dry bin for the next video. I put on this Milk one. I completely forgot I had those Urban Decay mascaras. I'll put it on tomorrow or something. Follow me on Instagram. When I decide to use that mascara, I will post it on Instagram. Anyways, I do have these Kosas Shiny Objects Wet Glisten Highlighter. These are $34, and these looked really interesting. A wet pressed highlighter powder that melts into the skin. And there's one that I thought would be the prettiest on me is Haloed. So it feels like a powder. Okay. I thought it was going to feel more wet and almost putty-like, but it does feel like a powder. Look how pretty and smooth that is. Ooh, that looks really pretty. It also looks like it might emphasize texture, but it has that pretty lay down on the skin. When I watched the tutorials on this, most people were applying this with the fingers, so that's what I'm gonna do. It almost looks like it's getting hard pan as my finger goes in here. Okay, I feel like it's not super smooth looking. And then I find if you do more of a swiping motion, a lot of times it will move the product underneath and then look even more textured. I think patting is the best motion. Well, yeah, no. Swipe, don't pat. I'll try a brush on the other side. It's pretty, but it's not the most smooth looking on my skin. I don't have perfectly smooth skin, so. But it is pretty in that you can't really see where it starts and ends. It's so thin. Out of curiosity. Brush? No, too scattered. Needs a finger. This is a product where you can put it all over the eyelid too. might be prettier, I don't know, on a tinted moisturizer, lighter makeup day. I'm just not loving how this highlighter is sitting on the skin. I just don't have perfect enough skin to pull this off because you can see it just looks a little textured. It does give that glow. I think it, you know, like right here is pretty. I'm sure it's pretty on the eyelid. Not my preferred style of highlighter. I was a little more optimistic than, now I look crazy. Why did I do that? I haven't done that since like 2017. But I really wanted to try it. Definitely I'm not giving up on this. I will give it another chance. I can see it standing out more on a more natural makeup day as the overall glow. I also kept the shade Glimmer Rose because I thought maybe this could be really pretty all over the cheeks as like a blush. Like, look at that. I actually really like that. Or all over the eyelid. So I'm going to continue to test these. As you know, today's video is first impressions, but my speed reviews will hold all the gold. And then I probably will have, maybe, I forgot, gotta have a baby sometime soon. But normally you'd see me test these more second, third impressions throughout other videos that I have. But maybe not this time around. But you'll hear back from me on this. So I'm not like in love with this. That's my review. Moving on. So the last thing that I have are some new lip products from Bobbi Brown. Again, I know Bobbi Brown's not anything anybody had asked me about, but they launched these summery products and the package was just so pretty. So this first one I'm not going to use, but I will bring it to your attention that it is available. This is the Extra Blushing pH Tinted Lip Oil. It is a whopping $39, you guys. Just a tinted lip oil that uses that pH technology. Pass on this. Drop. Not interested in it. I don't even want to open it. But I do have interest in trying a couple shades of the Extra Tinted Lip Balm because I can foresee myself wearing these over the next few weeks just to give myself a little bit of color on the lips. Now, I didn't show this on camera, but I've been using, I didn't show this on camera, but to hydrate my lips, even though they don't look very hydrated, it's my lips, not the product. I've been using Bare Blossom just as a little hydrator here. They say this is a cool light pink. This is definitely a product that you do not need multiple shades of. I think most of these are gonna run clear. But that did add a little bit of something to the lips, you know? Especially when you have foundation and stuff on the lips. It just gives that little extra bit of color. So let's see what the darkest shades are. Well, details first. So this is $39. It's a hydrating tinted lip balm with 84% skin caring ingredients and colors that blooms as it adjusts to your pH. So it's another one of those pH kind of products where it needs to sit on the lips a little bit and warm up and ignore my lips. Let's do the darkest color, which is Bare Blackberry. I'm just looking at the swatches on the website. So, Bare Blackberry. Okay, these are all gonna be pretty much clear. Hold on. The hydration of them was decent, honestly. That's why I used them, but this is darker than that Bare Blossom. They also have Bare, which is gonna give no color. Wait, why is that pretty? For a literal barely tinted balm, that's pretty. Like, this is what I had in mind that I was gonna wear after I gave birth, or Bare Blossom for something lighter, just to add some color back to my face. Hold on, is there any other colors of interest to me? I'm gonna give away most of these because they are super clear, but I do like that Blackberry one. And then the other one that looks pretty in the swatches is Bare Peony. The packaging is super nice. Like, no, I don't like that. That's a bit too bright. That's clear. Maybe a little warm. This is Bare Claret, by the way. Oh, this is completely clear. I'm working through some things right now. It did leave a little bit of a stain behind my lips, but that's why I was like looking forward to a color like this. But this, again, another product where I'm like, probably better on lighter makeup days. This is Bare Claret. It does add that warmer tone. I see it adding a little bit of a different color. Anyways, you don't need more than like one. But these are nice and lightly hydrating. And for no makeup days, or no makeup days, truly just to add a little bit of color to the lips. These are kind of nice. They're kind of expensive though for what they are. I don't really recommend them. I just wanted to play with them. Wait, that's it. I do want to put on a different lip though, because this is not like a lip for a look. Okay, so we'll just do Anywhere Caffeine. I have it beside my makeup desk, so it's just always there. The pH from the Bobbi Brown has really left a lot of color behind on my lips. It's a bit neon, but at least my lips look more hydrated now. And we'll just do Latte, the new reformulation of the Dior lip oils over top. So this is another new product that's currently in testing. But anyways, there we are. This is the final look that we're going with, 2 completely different eyeshadows. But in the name of testing, I had to, and I got to test out some new high-end makeup that I was excited to try. So quick little overview to finalize my thoughts. First impressions, Fenty Skin Dew and Plump, this early access limited release, was a really nice refresher prior to applying my makeup. The Viseart Violette Nocturne and Cyrenus Nocturne. If you ask me, I think Cyrenus Nocturne is the way to go if you're interested in these color stories. If you have Viseart, these aren't anything new, of course. But if you are a fan like me, it is a good, solid launch. Not their best work, though. Definitely need to continue wearing the new eyeliners, both from Urban Decay and Fenty Beauty. I do see the Fenty Beauty is holding on nicely in the waterline, but the night is so young. But I do love the concept of these, and I do enjoy the concept of the Urban Decay liquid stick eyeliners. It did get really, really dark, which if you find with pencil liners that they don't get dark enough for you, but you want that hybrid, you don't want the actual liquid product, which can be a lot more difficult to use, this actually could be a really great option for you. But again, night is still young with these eyeliners, so make sure you're subscribed to me so I can update you in my speed reviews. But I love a good eyeliner stick. I think this was the biggest shock of today's video. I really enjoyed the Bobbi Brown blush sticks. They're hydrating, they're pretty, they're glowy, they're buildable, but they're not too glowy. They don't mess up your makeup underneath. They're flexible enough to be worn with a less glowy foundation, but they will also be stunning on a glowing foundation. Need to test the wear time though, and also not a fan of the highlighting shade, just not my jam. Okay, when it comes to cream highlighters, not in love like I was hoping to be with these Kosas highlighters. It's just sitting not as smooth on my skin as some other highlighters that I have. I wouldn't say it's a bad product at all. I think it looks really beautiful and glowy here on camera, but I do have highlighters that do sit more smooth on my skin that I'd reach for over these, but I am going to continue testing them because I think they will be really beautiful all over the eyelids. I'm not done with these yet. Like them, don't love them. And then finally, the last product that I tried were these tinted lip balms from Bobbi Brown. They are just that, a pH activated, I don't know about that pH stuff, but it's one of those tinted lip balm. You do not need more than one, but they're lightweight and they're comfortable, and they're a product that I wouldn't necessarily use on camera a lot. You're not going to see me use them a lot, but they're just something I would throw on around the house to get some color on my face. So I like them, but they are $39. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed and had fun testing new makeup with me. I will have all of the products that I use down below, as well as some other products that I'm wearing on my face. I will keep you guys updated on these as I continue to use them more. You will see them around in my videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.